everything's all right, Laura.
Just doesn't seem possible.
Dr. Cloister believed it's possible.
I know, Edward. Just to think of him lying in there in that terrible cold.
He died. And I carried out his instructions. Try not to think about it. You gotta get some rest.
I will.
When?
I think I'll read a little first. I even tried moving in with a girlfriend, but that didn't help. One night when I was alone, it was there too. I don't want to run away anymore.
Have you been under any unusual stresses, Laura?
There have been tensions, yes, but what I saw was real. I didn't imagine it.
Of course not. I remember when you first accepted the position with the Cloister Foundation. I felt a little sorry for myself. An old anthropologist losing the best secretary he ever had. But you were so eager, so excited. A whole new science, you described it.
It is.
Yes. The preservation of matter by freezing. The possibility that a man, deep frozen, could be brought back to life, cured of his ills, and given new life. A whole new science with a new leader.
Dr. Cloister was a brilliant man.
Laura, do you think that what you are experiencing may be psychic?
I don't know what to think.
How do you like the new offices, Laura? Better than the old ones, huh? Through that door is an excellent library. I share it with the adjoining office.
Oh?
Colleague of mine who's had some fame the past few years, and just what you're interested in. Psychic phenomena. You know of him, of course.
As a matter of fact,
As a matter of fact, you were going to ask me to introduce you.
Dr. Michael Rhodes?
Yes. Miss Anders is expecting me.
This way, please.
Thank you.
Never mind that. My name is Weems. I'm on staff here. That'll be all.
Wait a minute. What's the problem, Mr. Weems?
Laura shouldn't have asked you here.
Why not?
We're doing very important work. We don't want interference.
I had no intention of interfering with your work, but Miss Anders asked me to come. Now, I think it would be very rude to leave without seeing her, wouldn't it? Now, if you'll show me the way, please. How did Dr. Cloister die?
an accident. He fell.
And he'd already made plans to have himself frozen?
Oh, yes. He had a freezing chamber built right here in the house for himself and everyone close to him. He wanted all of us who worked for him to agree to be frozen too when we died.
Laura, how did you feel about him, personally?
I admired him very much.
You didn't love him? Was he in love with you?
I don't see what importance that has now.
Anything you can remember can help me.
He told me that he loved me and that he wanted to marry me, but I couldn't believe it. I mean, well, his wife lived right here in the house, and then he said that he was going to get a divorce, and oh...
So you told him no?
I told him that I admired and respected him, but that I didn't love him. I didn't love him. Then, that same night, he was dead.
You can't blame yourself.
I'm just so frightened. I'm afraid that Dr. Cloister wants me dead, too.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I feel it. I feel it. Edward, Dr. Rose, this is Mr. Milling. He's head of the foundation now.
How do you do?
I suppose Laura has told you all about her wild imaginings, Doctor?
Yes, Laura has.
And I'm sure you'll agree they're nothing more than that.
I'm really not sure what they are yet, Mr. Milling.
Really? Well, I've come to feel very close to Laura. She needs rest, not support for her fancies.
Tell me, what are you going to do with Dr. Cloister? I mean, how long are you going to keep him in his present condition?
Oh, years. 20, 30. Until medical science has perfected a mechanical heart to replace his.
What then?
Then I'll bring him back to the living.
What about damage to the brain after death?
Well, the freezing process took place immediately before brain damage could occur.
You mentioned a mechanical heart. I thought Dr. Cloister died from a fall.
His heart was bad. The fall was too much. I believe in science, Doctor. Not miracles, not fads. I hope you don't give Laura cause for regret.
I'm sorry.
It's an occupational hazard. Laura, what are Milling's duties as head of the foundation?
He oversees all of Dr. Cloister's research and experiments, and for his lifetime, it's his personal responsibility to maintain the freezing chamber, see that the temperature never drops below a certain level.
What about Weems?
He's strange. He was lost on an Antarctic expedition about a year ago, and when they found him, they said that he was frozen to death.
Yes, I read about him. He'd been dead for so short a time they were able to bring him back to life.
Dr. Cloyster called him my man up from the dead. He said that he was the living example of what he was trying to prove under laboratory conditions. Mr. Weems claimed that he'd experienced life after death, and Dr. Cloyster became more interested in that than in anything else. It was more than scientific questioning. It became an obsession with him.
Laura, if you're ready, I'd like to see the room where you saw the apparition.
Of course.
Laura, have you had any other psychic experiences like this before?
Once, when I was a little girl, I woke up during the night, and I heard a voice calling for help. It was the voice of my grandmother, but she was miles away. The next morning, they told us that my grandmother had died that night.
Some of us are more sensitive to such things. Women particularly. Call it intuition.
Dr. Rhodes, I presume?
Yes.
I'm Mrs. Cloyster. I'm very happy to meet you. Are you a Leo?
No, I'm not.
Not a Leo. I'm a Pisces. Hello, Laura.
This is it. The freezing chamber. This is where I saw it.
Laura, look at the door. And open your mind to it.